But that feeling that was awkward on day one becomes more natural and easier to do. But we've got to have a reference, a guide of perfect from day one. Maybe your ball position was off, encouraging shoulders to be open. You were this way. Maybe you had some kind of ailment, knee and hip, that made your setup a little bit misaligned. So if your shoulders are open, can you see your spine tilt will probably be too vertical at address? After understanding it, you're going to feel excited that this is going to fix you. It'll fix your slice, and it will. At address, to put yourself in a position of awareness where your right knee and right hip is just inside the right instep. So when you make a turn, you can feel the load point, the inside of the right foot, starting to build the pressure. You're making a little adjustment to allow for the right hand lower on the club than the left. Now, obviously, when you've got a driver, and I'm going to start with the driver, the ball is forward. So can you see there's a slight natural tendency to have your spine tilt backwards a little bit? Now, in this position, you can feel as if you can turn behind the ball. That's the first thing you're going to feel. Your hips are slightly forward. You can feel the load. And suddenly, with the spine tilt on that angle, you can turn behind the ball. It's going to feel great. And you'll hit a successful shot almost right away. You only play once a week. So next week, you come back out. You're not able to practice. You're only a weekend golfer. You're going to go back into that setup again. And you're going to remember the feeling. And there you are. You found it again. It's a little bit more exaggerated. And then another week goes on. And now suddenly you're back here. Now in this position, the spine tilt's exaggerated. Shoulders might be a little bit closed. And you're now in a position where you're thinking, well, I feel I'm going to hit behind the ball. So the ball position comes back. Then you feel, oh, I'm okay again. And you might survive. But can you see, we didn't have a starting point of reference of being correct. I always like doing drills in front of a mirror first. That way you got a reference point, especially if it's a hallway mirror, one of these narrow vertical ones, because you can see yourself both compared to the right hand edge of the mirror and the left. So you can see. You've got to be perfect at address. 9.5 out of 10, okay, if it's not 10 out of 10. You've got to check that front on. You've got to check down the line for alignment with the shoulders, the hips, the knees and the feet. You've got to see that the right arm is relaxed and we're not pushing the shoulders open from being tense and overconfident. So over time, you'll exaggerate it, trying to find that feeling again. But that feeling that was awkward on day one becomes more natural and easier to do. But we've got to have a reference, a guide of perfect from day one. So then you can go back to that. Whether it's a film of yourself or whether it's a video or a picture of your favorite golfer in the dress position, because he's the same height as you and same build, same flexibility, you can compare. With an iron, can you see it's not so exaggerated? The ball position for a driver was there. Now I got a 5-iron now. So the 5-iron's going to be between the middle and left heel for most of you. So it's a little further back. We've got to strike down on this. So the same things apply with the load point, but my spine tilt isn't going to be as exaggerated as with the driver. You've got to be a bit more centered as the irons get towards the middle. So with a 9-iron, or 7, 8, 9 irons for most of you is around the middle, narrower stance. We're pretty much vertical on that. Our point then after the ball, our low point, is after. It's here. We don't need to set up so much behind for that ball turf. We want to be able to turn through and have quieter hands as we complete the swing. So please be really careful when you're making setup changes that feel awkward and you're only playing once a week. It's very easy to find that awkwardness each time, each week that passes, and then you're exaggerating it too much. Anyway, I hope this helps. Thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more. Comments down below are welcome. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.